Sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of a delay. Things were clicking in and out. Is the 10th. It's 10:24. I meant to be here at 10:15, but that's okay. Hopefully people come in late when I see the click. So I'll go ahead and bring in the team. I apologize for that. We were really trying to get that fired up, but it didn't work so well. So let's bring on in the group. What's up, Manic Satanic? Good to see you, bud. Who are you? Oh, it's Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, no, mine's Brittany. And what's up, Sideswipe? How you doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we had to start late tonight. I mean, there was a lot going on. Everybody, and sometimes life less than ordinary. Yo. What's up, Nate? That's our cousin Nathan, by the way. Or it could be Nadia. I don't know. It could be either of them. Anyways, hello. And thanks for everybody holding on. Brett had a big thing tonight with his kids, so we couldn't miss that. Of course, we don't ever get in the way of children. Somebody's chiming.
Oh, that'd be me.
But anyways, yeah, we can get started.
Silence my phone device. No. Oh, wait.
That's pretty awesome.
It was my computer that chimed.
That's pretty awesome. I like the kind of a later show thing because, nobody's around now. The parents are laid down or whatever. What's up, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Who you're where am I from? That is the frog and the chimp. We all know Dan, the famous frog banging chimp named Daniel. We know who that is. But anyways, when we do a later show, we can actually chit chat a little bit and have a little fun. I'm glad Brett's here. It's probably early for you, Brett. What is it, 8 o'clock your time?
Yeah, about 8:30.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeff, how's it been going for you? Everything good so far?
Good, man. The house didn't appraise like I wanted it to, but that either means I have to go back to the drawing board or I have to they have to come down to whatever the appraisal price was. We're trying to amend it, but the appraisal came in $39,000 light. So
Woo!
Yeah, and I already asked for a bunch that they had already agreed to, and everything I asked for they went for, and so hopefully they're desperate to sell and it will make it work. But
good for you.
They're stuck with that appraisal for the next 6 months, so they kind of fuck themselves a little bit. So hopefully that'll go my advantage. Other than that, things are good, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I think so too. Everything go good, Brett, with Wynn and her school?
It was crazy. High school orientation. Oh yeah.
You haven't been to one of those in a long time, dude. Have you, Brett?
I couldn't believe how many people showed up to this thing. I mean, it was packed.
I bet that's pretty crazy.
It's like 200 yards just to the east of me, north of me. Like we can see the school from here. It was packed. It was packed. But it's weird because the high school is so weird now. It's like, how you had your shop classes and you had all your music classes and everything. It just seemed like everything looked like a studio. The building was completely different. Yeah, it was odd. I mean, it was nice. It was really nice, but it was weird. Like they had a home ec room that had stoves like in the little desks where you could have all your stuff.
Everybody else was young.
It looked like a shopping mall, like a 2-story shopping mall. The inside of the school there. I mean, it's completely brand new. So it was interesting.
In there at least.
Yeah, they have everything's online still. They don't have any books.
Asshole out of the way.
They don't have anything, but it was interesting. We'll see. She's only going to be there a month and a half, and that's it. So.
Do they have laptops? Is it laptops or solid?
They provide all the kids with iPads.
Damn.
So Google Classroom is like that's what they're moving to. Everything's going digital. Soon it'll be in a month. Oh yeah. So it's like they have to carry a backpack. They'll let them have their phones in class as long as they don't see them, so they can listen to music. It's like, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? It was weird. It was weird, but
well, I mean, I guess in a way too. But I mean, like when I used to do things, or like even when I'm writing now, if I'm coming up with something or a storyline, of course, I'll send it to Brittany to polish it up for the quote unquote the way the geeks like it written. But if I come up with a concept, I have to have music. It really gets my mind in a creative mode, and sometimes that's not a bad thing, especially for kids who need that distraction. Like a little bit of music helps them kind of run away and kind of focus on. Sometimes it did for me. Like I could put Metallica in, and I could do anything. When
I guess I'm just used to those teachers that brought like their personality into it. Like I loved my science, my history teacher. I mean, they got into it. And it was fun to go to those classes. Now it just seems like just open up your iPad and check yourself. And test her on Friday, and that's it. So it's like you don't even really pay attention to them. It's all on this laptop.
Well, you got to remember that, and this is just a theory. They used to control people with school, I think, right? They don't have to anymore because they do it with social media. And so when the kids get home, they're already opening up the media. They're on TikTok, and they're being led around anyways. I mean, they'll believe anything. Yeah. I was reading about, I opened up and was looking at a little bit of what Bernie was talking about. Jason Momoa was writing about the island that's on fire, obviously Maui or whatever. And he was giving true facts. Like he broke it down and he said, it was this, it's been a drought, it's natural, blah, 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 but it's horrible at the same time. And then other people were like writing, they're sabotaging it so that, they don't want any tourism, or look how selfish people are. They're complaining now that they have to redo their vacation, why thousands of people are dying, typical American tourists. I'm like, American tourists, you stupid fuck. Why is America? What are you saying? Like, protect the island people from Americans. Like, who the fuck says that? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, and last
I looked, Hawaii was one of the 50 states. What's that?
They have some other exports, pineapples and shit, but without tourism, can you imagine? It would be a much poorer.
It's a big thing for them. Their islands, they've got their of course, tourism's big. We're an island in Florida. If we didn't have tourism, most of our money comes from tourism. Let's face it, folks. It isn't from people who live here and contribute. It's not.
Disney.
Yeah, exactly. It's Disney. It's
30% of
Gardens, Florida. It's theme parks, Universal Studios. It's
entertainment drives
the
Florida.
Beaches. Yeah. The beaches here are wonderful. I spent all day yesterday on Boca Grande, all day. We went out there and we had a really good time, and it was like just peaceful. It was bliss. Nobody was out. Season was down. There was tons of spiny tail iguanas running everywhere. Nice. Brittany's texting right now, not paying attention. There's just so much going on at one time.
Stop. I'm sorry.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. But at the end of it, it's just like we need that too. And I think Hawaii's in the same. But I don't think that means quote unquote American tourists are just shitty because they're more worried about their travel plans. I think that they were just making a statement like, without the tourism there, it's a tough spot.
For Maui, I think it is. I think most of the islands need that tourism. But every state like California, Florida, Texas, New York, Washington, all these areas.
There's also a lot of times, like, let's think about it, guys. Like when we're sitting here in the middle of a hurricane, they're over in Hawaii enjoying themselves. So we all go through trials and tribulations, man. It's sad, but that's a world we live in, man. If it's not viruses or people killing people or natural disasters, tsunamis, fires. Look at the fires that were in California. Look at the fire that was just, what was it in Canada that you couldn't even see when you were up there in New York or whatever.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Right? So, I mean.
Also, there's so much conspiracy with it now. Like, you can't even have just a normal natural nature disaster that just takes place, because now they're saying it was a government test with their basically a natural disaster testing type of laser that they're using. So now that's going around. I have the actual name for it. I saved it to share on the show tonight as a possibility because there's an image.
Are they going back to the HAARP weapon again?
No, not the HAARP. This is a different one that's been re-engineered specifically for dealing with natural disasters to make fires and etc. Let me find what it's called.
And a lot of times it's people, folks. Let me jump on something real quick. And here, Brett, when we talk to sometimes like, I want to learn about animals and shit, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you're gonna do like when you're around me and you're gonna deal with people, telling me like, I just feel so bad for what you do, and you have lemurs in captivity and the way you do them. Well, let me tell you what they do with lemurs in Madagascar. They are burning all the land up so that they can plant for palm oil. So they don't care how many lemur rainforests they're burning down or burning all those animals up in trees. And even if the fire doesn't go all the way up the tree, do you know what the smoke inhalation on that type of fire would be at the very top of a tree? So these animals are found dead, burnt up, just so they can do palm oil, So they're starting their own fires doing stuff over there. And people think, you're just this because you house that, or they're laser shooting it. I think it's coincidental. And if someone came out tomorrow and said, well, we caught the government, they decided they were going to test something out and went haywire and hit Hawaii, I would be like, well, I don't believe that because they're amazing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Would they not? I mean, wasn't it funny that when the HAARP weapon was seized, we had 2 tsunamis in areas that weren't very predominantly making a lot of money? Like, wasn't it Haiti and certain parts of what? Where was the other part? Wasn't it in
Sri Lanka?
Right, Sri Lanka. Look at our dealings between them and us, and them in the other part of the world. There's not a lot going on there. So, of course, a conspiracy theorist could put something together and say, "Oh, well, they did that to test it." I mean, Haiti got one right after that too, and it was like little coincidental, but
El Nino, man, what are you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying. And we get fires in Florida like that sometimes. I've seen them in Colorado. I remember when Blue Mountains were on fire, Brett. You remember that?
Yeah,
we brought the motorcycles up over the ridge, and we saw it looked like inferno. It was like nuclear war coming over the mountains. I mean, it was,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of wildfires out west, and it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
It's
a very unfortunate, terrible thing, but it's also sometimes it has to happen, man. The ecosystem needs those, right?
Yeah.
We do controlled burns in Florida. We have to burn the whole acres and acres and hundreds of acres. You have to for the ecosystem. I mean, it's just because we built so much, we're not even allowing lightning to do it no more.
The Everglades is all the time. They do it in grids, and they're always controlled burning something. But
sometimes it's lightning.
Yeah, that too. They have a lot of aggressive invasive plants down there. The Brazilian pepper and stuff like that get in and choke everything else out. So they try to burn all that down, and they get rid of a lot of the vegetation to keep the wildfires from happening because, drunken idiots who go out on the levees and make campfires, and next thing you know,
it's pretty terrible. It's an awful thing, and I think it's really sad. That all those people are going through that, man. I mean, that's horrible. But everybody's publicizing it and to benefit themselves. I mean,
everybody wants clickbait.
Yeah, and if you watch a newscast on it, look at all the people advertising in those particular newscasts, man. You want to talk about capitalizing on catastrophe?
Oh, everybody does.
Diet Coke, Hawaii's on fire. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, let's not lie about it.
Yeah. Dude, you think that Jason Aldean song had anything to do with small towns or America or anything like that? Right there, my brother. Good for him. Capitalizes off the idiots. And but yeah, everything's got a money agenda behind it. Period.
100%. Everything I do is money. I told you.
That's because you're money, bro.
I only think about one thing, dude. Green. That's the color I think about. I don't care what color you are. If we're dealing green, we're all green to me.
We're all pink on the inside, bro.
I'm not trying to be an ass, but man, you got to really focus on that. You want to have fun, make money, because money allows you to have a good time. And unfortunately, that's the society we're in, and we have to do it.
Damn right, man.
Or we have to all get sugar daddies.
Hey, anybody's looking for a sugar baby, I'm on the market for that. And above it, man. Indecent proposals, bring them.
I know we're joking around, but man, lucky. So it's just one of those things that you got to think about. Everything's a monetary base. I mean, when Brett and I have discussions about business, we're not like, hey, you want to do it for jelly beans, and then we'll give a couple jelly beans to the guy around that rides the bike and has a pet cat and lives by that trash bag on Third. No, we don't give a fuck.
You can pay your rent with them.
Exactly.
It's as good as cash.
Money, man, money, and that's what the world's based on. So if you get in the way of that, then they burn down your country. I mean,
cream.
That being said, it's not like conversations like I love money to where we're gonna like bathe in it like Scrooge McDuck or anything. It's like it just gives you the options, like the options it gives you is what I like. I don't care for the money. I don't care about cash.
Yeah, because I'm not I'm not a greedy shit. And there's been times in my life that I've made so much money, bro.
Oh yeah.
I was on top of the world. And then other times, dude, I've got a fucking paper cup with ramen in it. But the type of person I am, this is me, and anyone who knows me knows this. If I buy a kayak, I buy 5. You know why? Because most people I know can't go out and do it. And then I go, hey, you guys want to go? Well, we don't have anything. What are you going to sit on the beach? Fuck no. We're going to bring 5 of them, then we'll all go out. That's what I do, dude. Or I want to one day, you want to drive up and drop a new Harley Davidson off on Jeff's Porsche and then call and be like, dude, I'm outside waiting on you. Open the doors, a bike here. I like that shit. That's what I like it for.
Yeah.
You're ready to drop one off, brother. I'm ready to ride.
Well, that's what I like it for, and I really do. And I'm all about it, man. And, and I think that's what it's about. So, yeah, I don't, sometimes money can overtake you and you can do bad things. I mean, obviously, look at my sister.
Whatever.
No, I mean, you do good things with your money, B. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what money?
an office, you You pulled up in my house the other day in like in a SUV, government SUV.
Yeah.
All blacked out or what?
Was she in the back wearing dark sunglasses? Maybe she's
Nope.
a woman in black.
You got a blacked out SUV now,
Yep.
Brett? What's going on? See,
Blacked out, bulletproof,
the
Denali,
ball's already rolling.
top of the line, Denali movie screen throughout of it. She gets out of my
See?
car, and the it's like a robo car, like so. The stepping thing goes.
Notice how she's just
For your
sitting there
feet.
grinning. She's not even saying nothing. She's not even nodding her head. She's just.
I'm not going to say.
It doesn't have a cup holder. That's the most important thing in the car.
Oh, in that car, you don't need a cup holder. It comes with a gentleman in a suit that holds it for you.
You get your own concierge.
That's right.
He has a little towel.
Like, would you like me to pump the gas?
Milkshake.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's how I feel as a kid when they sit in the car. I feel like their chauffeur because they're always like, change the movie, grab my toy. I need more snacks. Where's my drinks? I'm like,
Kids should not be saying they need more sacks. That's wrong.
I was the same thing. I was like, what? Come again?
snacks.
Oh, snacks. I thought you said sacks.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. How many sacks are you giving them? Fucking sacks.
You guys.
But I mean, so yeah, everything's based on that. But I just like I like the little piddly people that go out and make the comments. I really do.
Yes.
I like reading those. It really shows you how stupid people are. What was his name? What's his name? Gervais, right?
Ricky
Gervais.
Gervais.
Yeah, right. He's funny. He said that he loves Twitter because it gives morons a microphone to talk to smart people. I thought that was really awesome.
It's true, man. I love going. I just go.
I love that guy.
Yeah, go look up search Manic Satanic 666, and it's all me fucking just poking bears, dude, all day. That's how I get my frustrations out from the day. I go troll idiots.
And they're there.
Dude, I told you
they come to me, I just ignore them. I go, oh God, guys.
Yeah, the last time I got tossed off there was when I told Marjorie Taylor Greene I hope she gets cunt cancer. Took about 3 minutes before I was gone. But they let me back in, and then I got kicked off for telling Ted Cruz I hope he gets tank cancer, which I thought was super clever.
Ted Cruz. I just think that you should be able to say whatever you want, not get kicked off.
Dude.
I don't think you should be kicked off for anything.
Well, Elon's in control of it now, and it's not Twitter anymore; it's X. And
It's X now.
Yeah.
And free speech is basically back on. I mean,
Well,
And it should be. I don't care if you're dumb. I don't care if you're right wing or left wing. You should be able to say whatever you want. That's how I feel about it.
he
Absolutely.
just put
I don't
down
care about it.
like you're not allowed to, basically, like no sex trafficking, soliciting. Like I mean, like he did the normal guidelines of we're not going to discuss like those types of things on here, just because that's not the place to do it. But everything else was basically off the table. Like whatever.
yeah. It's a
He
good
was
place
like,
to fuck
you guys
with
can
people.
just fight yourselves. You'll figure it out amongst yourselves. That's basically his standpoint.
And that's okay.
I don't know.
That's
He
what it
kicked
should be.
Kanye off already, though.
There's a lot of people, man, that,
I don't know.
I know that I have friends that live overseas and they say that they're not allowed to say stuff. They're not allowed to say stuff about their government, their queen, or none of that kind of shit, So at least we can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what was I saw a video which I thought was great of President Biden's son smoking a big old glass pipe. I was like, what is he doing, dude? It was awesome, dude. Like, here's this guy, like, oh, we got to cover this up, and he lights a crack pipe up, dude. Like, why give more ammunition to yourself? Why would you do that?
Dude, fucking Marjorie's been throwing pictures of fucking Hunter's dong all over Congress and shit.
Oh yeah.
That
shit is funny.
it's like- and now they're trying to pop her on fucking revenge porn laws, which I think is hilarious because I mean that's pretty much what it is.
Yep. I just
it's-
find it. It's
he's
just
obsessed with that
interesting.
dude's fucking huge cock.
Well, that's hilarious, though.
I think it's funny as shit, dude, that she's on the floor of Congress being like, look at Hunter Biden's dick. And probably 99% of the people be like, who gives a fuck?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
I mean,
Beginners.
the privilege of being a president is you can be a complete deviant and they can just cover it up. So let that shit ride. Family rides for free.
Yeah, but the only thing is that You have that right to be a deviant. And then they sling mud at each other all day long. And it's like,
Oh, for sure.
You're defeating the purpose of what your job is now.
It's their relatives that fuck them over. It's your Roger Clintons and your fucking Billy Carters and
Ted Kennedy.
Oh, yeah. Ted Kennedy with his fucking giant gin blossoms, dude. That guy looks like he fucking has Jameson for breakfast.
God, do you remember all that stuff, dude? During those days, man? God, that guy was crazy, dude.
Yep.
Did he drown one of his girls and shit in a car?
No, they drove off a bridge, dude, off the Chappaquiddick, into the Chappaquiddick.
And didn't he climb out and see you later?
He took off, dude. He fucking got a ride out of there.
I know, and he left her in there, dude. God dang, that guy's a hero.
Yeah, that's some fucking next level shit to like be like, oh, you're drowning. I'm gonna leave you here. Take off.
Yeah, because he didn't want her around no more.
Well, probably because he thought he was going to get busted for driving drunk, which is probably his baseline. You know what I mean? If that guy drove sober, I'd be afraid to be on the road with him.
Yeah, do you remember all that stuff was nuts?
Yeah, dude. That was like 1980 something. He drove
There's still crazy shit all the time. It's the same as it was back then. It's more available now. That's just all there is to it. It's more available to us.
I love it when all politicians get caught doing stuff, especially if it's stuff that they're so against. It's like, I hate gay people, and then they catch them in a room with like 40 guys naked.
Sure. And I always like Nixon. I thought Nixon was pretty cool.
Nixon?
Yeah, I mean, he was doing he was doing treaties with aliens and shit. Apparently, that's what Brittany said.
Dude, fucking the Mars attacks. Who do you think? What's his name was?
Exactly,
Nicholson,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson.
Oh man, dirty dick.
Nixon. I mean,
tricky dick,
baby.
But it was cool, man. He was just neat. Like watching him talk and shit. But he never really. I don't think he did anything any different than anyone else did. He just got caught.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say he was just a giant piece of shit that got caught.
Yeah, right. He wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like it was any different any time before.
Oh, dude, think about it. In the early days of the CIA, the president probably just snapped their fingers and world leaders could just drop dead.
The only presidents I ever think about was Abraham Lincoln and Washington. I don't think about any other ones. I don't even, and I've seen a bunch.
Yeah. I heard Abraham Lincoln was a huge douche. That was just,
they said he was a pretty rotten guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I wasn't there, so I can't vouch for him. So.
Are you trying to say I'm old, Brittany?
Yeah.
I actually still have Abraham Lincoln's cell number in my phone. It's 1.
That's funny.
One turn.
Right. I mean, Washington, he was a badass. He fucking got out there and swung his sword, and unfortunately, he was at a gunfight, so that was kind of fucked up. But
that's actually really awesome, dude. Honestly.
That's back then when they suited up with the troops. I mean, nowadays,
exactly. They weren't the war pigs. They got up and they were in fucking front. They're like, I'm going first. Captains went down with the ship. Cavalry rode in with their troops. That's when leaders were leaders and not fucking cowards who sit behind a corporate desk and send kids out to die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
That's true.
That is true.
That's very true now.
Dude, War Pigs is one of the truest songs.
And you know what I like? I like that they'll send them out to die, but they're not allowed to go to a casino and they can't have a beer.
Right. I'm telling you, as soon as you fucking, sign your contract, you should be allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. As long as you keep defending the country, you could be fucking balls deep in a hooker while doing coke off her ass. Anything you want. Well, maybe not that, but
You should be allowed to drink. You should be allowed to drink.
Oh, without a doubt.
Right? Like you're an 18-year-old and you're getting sent over to war. You can't have a beer legally. Get the hell out of here with that.
A bullet just whizzed
Come on, man.
And I just exploded to the enemies. Maybe I'll lay back with a beer. I mean, it's not too much to ask, right?
I'm pretty sure overseas.
No, I'm sorry, Jeff. You're under 21. You're not allowed.
Right? I got court-martialed for drinking a beer at 20 and a half.
He's a hero, but he just got arrested for underage drinking, so he's getting kicked out.
Right.
It's just, that's some stupid shit, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or then they should just make the age of going to be into the military 21 then.
Yeah. It's hard enough, I think, for them to find people.
Have you seen 18-year-olds today, dude? Have you seen the way they are today, 18-year-olds?
Dude, I don't even trust them to buy their own shoes, much less anything else. We were
already working a couple of jobs, trying to make ends meet. We had a couple cars by then, and nowadays they're like, "Hey, have you seen the latest Pokemon video? I'm going over to mom's house tonight. We're going to play it. I'm like, all right, man. You're going to give this guy a gun? Yeah. But I think, isn't that what they wanted? Bro, if you can keep weakening everybody down and keeping them occupied in video games and shit.
Yep. Social media, video games.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in China, elementary students are learning how to load and unload and take their gun apart and put it back together in class.
Mhm.
Yep. Because they're not stupid. They know.
And how to not have babies.
What?
I said, and how to not have babies. Don't they restrict them to like one child per family?
No, it's
Yeah.
They lifted that now. They lifted it.
two.
Oh, two? Oh, wow. That's awful. That's
Numbers.
They're allowed to have two, and they're still more populated than us.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
they're
there was at one point close to 1 billion Chinese. There was like, in the big hundreds of millions. And
Look.
yeah, they definitely got us beat standing army size wise.
Well, look at right now. They've already tried to eliminate so much with us and our own population of the U.S. that flash forward 15, 20 years, the birth rate is going to be so low that we won't have enough to turn over in the U.S. That these types of countries that are very meticulous and methodical on their planning and how they're doing this, they'll just easily be like, U.S., you're nothing, we'll take you.
Maybe they should put up a baby bounty, or a bigger fucking tax break. I mean, the tax breaks we get for having a child are ridiculous. You get like 1,000 cash, and it's like what 3% or something like that, or whatever. And that's great. I can sustain my child for a month on what you give me for him for a year, and it's my own money you're giving me back in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off on the taxes. Y'all know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Hence the term refund.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a gift.
Yeah.
People. The stimmy checks came out of your taxes, all that shit. Like, oh, the government's giving away free money. They're like, they're just giving you back your own money.
It's like the ATM, man. You're paying to get your own money back,
Right? Exactly. Like, I was generous enough to use your bank.
Yeah.
And now you're going to charge me to take my own money out of your bank machine.
Take it easy, beginner's guide. Hope you feel better.
Hey, take it easy. They got a lot of old people too, Craig.
Craig. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, but Craig's right. I like it when someone like Craig is on and talks the truth a little bit like that. I think that's really good because he's right.
He is. Straightforward.
Doesn't matter in this country because we don't take care of our old people anyway. We warehouse them and forget about them.
They do.
That's a
No
fact.
respect for knowledge or where people came from. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Isn't that sad?
We all came from the best generation.
Well, I can tell you that we have literally.
Not Brittany.
What? What are you saying about me?
When were you born, Brittany?
Brittany's not Gen X.
Uh-oh.
No.
I wish I was, but I'm not.
Brittany would be millennial.
Wow.
I think I am. I think I am in
Gen
the.
Z, what is that one? I don't know.
Brittany was born in 1987.
That was when I graduated high school.
So she was definitely by then the millennials all the way through to the 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say millennial
Then
or
Gen Z.
Generation Y.
The problem is though is I don't identify with this millennial group, so it is what it is.
Yeah, you're a little short
My
on your
mindset in
your
life is much more sophisticated and older than this generation. This generation literally would eat dirt tomorrow and tell you that that's what we all need to do because it's the way of the life. Like everybody should eat dirt.
We're not supposed to eat dirt.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you not to do it.
The
Okay.
email said it was the key to life.
That's what they say. They say it's part of the new keto. Don't do it.
Dirt.
Stupid
It's
shit.
cheaper.
It's funny. When I was over in Cuba, they had this guy that he had this container that he would buy. I think it was out of Florida, and they would ship it over. And if you didn't see it at the BX, you're not going to see it again for 6 months because that's how long it takes to get anything over there, electronics, you name it. But he would buy buckets of dirt, and he'd eat that shit like pre-workout. He swore by it. He was the only one. I thought it was hilarious, but now I guess that's what they're pushing. That will be eating bugs soon, so.
Oh God, no. I can't do
What is
that.
there in
They're
dirt?
already eat them. They're just covered up by the food that's processed.
Yeah.
Eat dirt.
There's nothing in dirt. It's not, somebody will start, oh, Brett, somebody will start something and then all of a sudden it like, oh, Brett, you're talking the truth. You got pumped off for a second. You got to watch that. Algorithms.
What did I say? We're eating bugs?
I don't know. Eating dirt. Guess he had it right.
Right.
You know, Flavio's often talked about that. He was talking about he wanted to buy a whole bunch of property so he could farm insects for a sustainable food source.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They are a sustainable food source. They're
Right,
probably one of the best things you could yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they're all very small though. You have to eat a whole lot of them to get what you're looking for. I'd imagine.
I mean, I'm not sure. I look at it. I look at on a scientific level. If you're looking at like with wildlife, I mean, obviously in some of the vegetation you get a certain amount of protein, but even the chimps, they sit with a stick and they'll pull all those termites out and just eat them for extra to top off protein. They'll do that for a couple hours, And termites taste good too. Flavio, we were in Belize and we were eating termites out of a tree and it tasted like peanuts. It's weird. It did. It had like a sunflower peanut flavor, man. I'm serious. Why? Alive, right out of the tree, just chewing it up. You're like, oh, it's peanut butter.
Here's my dilemma with this.
I'm living. I don't care. I'll eat 100 if I gotta live.
They taste like sunflower and peanut, so why not just go eat sunflower and peanut?
Because there's nothing there. It was this thing that you can go, like we didn't do it, but the guy was showing us what they do, and they do these. You get a 14-day survival thing in the Belizean jungle. So they show you everything you can consume. These guys, man, these islanders, they know how much to eat, for how many steps they take, to how much they use in their body, their breathing. I mean, those guys, they know what they're doing, man.
And let the dog out real quick. I'll be right back.
That's fine. And so I thought that was pretty cool, But if I'm here, I'm going to go get some peanuts. I'm not going to eat a couple termites out of my house or anything. But
did you send me that? You sent me that video of that gal eating that tarantula. That was nasty, man.
That's disgusting.
That was nasty.
Even watch
bro,
it.
I couldn't do that. They
She
chewed
was
it up.
eating that thing alive.
It popped on her lips.
Oh God.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
They eat some stuff. I won't watch those videos. I get too sick. That's a trigger. I can't watch them. Blech.
Yeah, that's true, Joe. So Jeff Bell said bugs and lab-grown meat. Jeff, 100% correct. I'm with Jeff. I never agree on war, but the 90s were awesome as a team. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I like the 80s a little bit better. Brittany liked the 90s as a child. Brittany liked the 2000s as a teen.
Mm-hmm. And I like the 60s in my brain where I pretended I lived.
The 60s?
No, but I wouldn't even look at you like now as like a millennial?
Millennial.
You turned out all right. You were raised different though. I mean, I think it depends on the parents too. I really do. I mean, some of these kids, I see some of these kids walking around, their parents are sitting outside, they're letting their kids run around, they don't know where their classes are. It just seems like that. Raise my kids for me. I'll pick them up at 3. You weren't like that.
Oh God, I can't do that. I can't.
You guys were supported on a lot, and it's yeah. And it shows. So the whole millennial thing, we'll give you a pass on that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're riding that line. I think it's like 1985 or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it's right at the cusp. Yeah, I literally just made it. It's just that.
Jeff, I was just talking today. We were in at the time we were in Arizona. It was 1987, I believe. Yeah, it had to be. And all day long, bro, all day long, they were talking about Guns N' Roses, this new band, and they're going to play the album at 8 p.m. You remember having the boom boxes, dude, and you had your little Memorex pink and yellow and purple tape, and you had that little piece ready. You were ready for that shit to start. They start blasting off. But I remember learning that they would sample, like you would hear little bits of sample and Slash and all that stuff playing. They're like, we're going to play a new band tonight. You got to tell us what you think. And then they came out with what was it? Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, those albums. By that time we were in Colorado, and then I remember it was KBPI Rocks the Rockies. Come on, Brent. Oh, you remember? Oh, yeah. We had that. Now everything is right here. Like you can just go, let me pick up this little device and type in, Manic Satanic and read everything he says, or Guns N' Roses. I want this song, or I want to hear this song. Back then, you had to wait till it was on the radio and shit. And we would watch some of the dumbest shit. I wouldn't even watch MTV until the Headbangers Ball came out.
Headbangers Ball, dude.
Come on, Jeff. you know, and then you would have like Bang Tango. People didn't even know there was a band called Bang Tango. They were fucking awesome. All of that shit.
Faster
And then they would come out
Pussycat.
and hope Faster Pussycat. Yes, I was just gonna say that.
House of Pain. Oh yeah.
They're one of their favorite songs. I like them with Arizona Indian Doll and Jack the Bastard. I love those songs.
Well, a lot of those bands weren't even introduced. I mean, you gotta introduce to different genres like Pantera. Remember Pantera?
Oh, absolutely.
Remember all those bands? I mean, they weren't mainstream. They were all Headbangers Ball people.
I remember Dimebag. There ain't no. We say there ain't no high class. There's roach class, and he pulled up shit on airplay. You remember that? God,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And you could do whatever back then, man. They didn't care about
They tried.
What that went on. You could do they would just like you'd go to the show and it was just a time of your life, man. Like,
oh, dude, people used to get fucking. I remember getting squished up against the barriers in front of the stage,
or an elbow to your skull.
Yep.
You'd be spitting blood, or they'd have nails on their jackets.
Fucking doing roundhouse kicks and jumping up in the air. I got pumped.
You said you just like the bad makeup from the 80s. There were some cool bands that did the makeup thing, but most of the bands we listened to didn't do a whole lot of that. I mean, they weren't really like the big. You got to give it to Iron Maiden. I mean, even the original Iron Maiden albums, Iron Maiden, and Killers were amazing albums from the 70s.
Oh, dude, all good. Peace of Mind. All
Fuck
the old
yeah.
stuff was good.
And then when you start from, Number of the Beast up with Bruce Dickinson, I mean, that guy just took the band somewhere else.
Oh, that guy could scream for days. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I still listen to that all the time, dude.
But a true band that I've always followed from the beginning to the end, and all the trials and tribulations and the misinterpretations of what they were talking about, Slayer.
Yeah, dude.
And Slayer released an album not too long ago. What are the last albums they released? The very last one. If you go to their original first album they ever released, up into the good ones like Into the Abyss and all those heavy albums that they did throughout the time. If you look and you listen, his voice is just a little bit deeper, but the music's the same. Kerry King he never sold out. They didn't want to do the mainstream, and they were just awesome, man.
Yeah, dude. I saw them in 1987.
Yes, of course, beginners. Of course, we made a mixtape. Yep, that's what I was talking about.
Megadeth and Bad Brains and fucking Slayer at this little venue in Connecticut, in Hartford, and it was a teeny show. There's maybe like 150 people there. Megadeth was a brand new fucking band.
Still pissed off Metallica got rid of them. Yep. And they pulled Kirk Hammett from Exodus, and a lot of people don't know that either. He used to play
Exodus. That was a great band, dude.
But one of the very last times, the time before I saw Slayer for the last time, they were doing a tour before they did the last tour that they were ever going to do. Tom Araya will probably never tour again. I don't think he's going to do it anymore. But it was Death Angel. Remember them?
I don't remember them.
Anthrax.
Remember Anthrax.
And then Slayer. So Anthrax over Slayer, and they opened up with some of the best songs, dude. Anthrax did, man. It just takes you back. You just feel like a total kid again. It was like seeing New Kids on the Block for the first time, right, Brittany?
Actually, yeah.
It was the New Kids, man.
Kerry King was actually one of the original New Kids on the Block lineup.
That's awesome. But music,
New Kids.
They went through that. Because I think. This is what I think. Now, follow me on this. All right. When we were listening to music coming up, they really didn't gear a lot of music to women. Think about it. They liked a little of the dick rock bands, like the really top 40 metal bands that were
Poison.
Yeah, those top bands like that. Yeah, like Cinderella. Which don't get me wrong, Cinderella's put out some amazing albums. I will never take that from them. But they like that music because they sang a little more lovey-dovey, like Journey, right? Mm-hmm. But everything else, unless you were like a headbanger chick, you're not going to be running around listening to Slayer. I mean, there are girls that do. That's not what I'm saying. But they were not marketing to women. And then it seemed like in the 90s, they're like, we have an untapped situation here. Like two guys went to a male strip club, saw how ridiculous the girl acts when they get around a stripper as opposed to what guys do. And they're like, this is untapped. Now you got boy bands after boy bands after boy bands. And I saw girls just throwing up and passing out on the street when one of them would get out of a car. Like all sort of like it was like the Holy Ghost came over them. You're like in a church, when they do that Shahana Mabanta stuff and everybody goes like this. And they're like, oh,
we knew Elvis.
They would just feel the power. Like, Joey Fatone would have got waved. They'd be like, oh, and they fall over.
Yeah, Jeff, I agree, man. I mean, that shit's been going on since Elvis, the Beatles, you name it, the Monkees. Those women would start crying and shit, dude.
I know, and the bottom line is they would even die when Michael Jackson came out. They'd faint, but
yeah,
when you think about it, they really tapped into it in the 90s. They marketed street teams. They take 3 cute boys that couldn't even sing.
but didn't it piss you off?
This song, you're like strawberries and beans, and they're like, "Oh my god, these guys are amazing!" And it didn't even mean shit. They were all so overproduced. It was like Milli Vanilli.
Well, that's all it was. But I mean, some of these guys, I mean, they didn't even play an instrument. Not one of them. They could just do some dance choreography, and they didn't write their own songs. Like it was so. It might have well been Milli Vanilli, you know.
They weren't
rad if Slayer did dance choreography.
They were just boy bands. There's a difference. There's man band.
And I give you that. And I give you that, Brittany. Absolutely. I mean, I can't deny the success of the boy bands. I mean, it took over for years.
It's terrible.
Because they tapped into an untapped market. They just
You're
found
right.
it, period.
Yep. I just want to say I was neither of those fans. I was not an NSYNC or Backstreet Boy girl at all. By the time I came about, when they were really pumping, I wasn't a fan of either. I couldn't stand the sound of Joey Fatone and Justin Timberlake's high-pitched whine, and then the other guys on no, it was a mess. I couldn't deal with it.
And then there was LFO and all those other guys. They used to come out NSYNC, O-Town.
Terrible. Just I couldn't.
I remember them, dude. You're making me laugh. But you know, but think, like you have. It's all money. They proved that was all about money and tapping into a market. They got young. They got the girls
was behind a lot of that.
From 10 to 16. These girls were, man. They'd look at an album, they get pregnant, dude. I mean, that was like, I mean, it caused a lot of shit, dude.
And then
a lot of wet draws.
And then in that untapped market came, well, now we need to have a woman power movement in a woman band. So let's bring the Spice Girls out. Because the Spice Girls made a huge movement in the women saying now we can be singers and make our own groups, our own women bands. And it did.
Craig's got it right here.
TLC.
Absolutely.
TLC. I mean, now TLC was, they knew their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you looked at like the rock aspect of it too, what was it? L7? It was L7. It was
a good band. Garbage.
Exactly. That was the same genre of music that
going back further, the Lunatics and Muff and
Gwen Stefani.
And let's go back behind that. Vixen.
The
edge of a broken heart. Come on,
Vixen.
dude. I'll lay that down now. I don't care who makes fun of me. I'll play that in the Harley.
Heart was considered the loudest live concert there was.
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought Heart was badass. I really did.
Yes, Jeff.
I thought they were
hot. Runaways. Joan Jett.
Oh, the Runaways. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Joan Jett.
So me and Kim, who comes on here sometimes, we went and saw all those bands at the tour up in Jacksonville. Remember, we went up there and saw Motley Crue and all that. Well, it was like this rainy day or whatever, and Joan Jett showed up, and like 5 people were standing on the field. And then they got off, and then Poison came out, I think. Yep. Poison played. Everybody went out there, and they're like, cool. And Brett came out. Does a good job. I mean, listen, I just saw Brett Michaels probably, what was it, a week ago now? And that guy, he's 60 years old. He still gets out there and tries to, I mean, he really has a good time. I mean, I hope that I'm moving around like that when I'm 60. And he's not really healthy either. He's like, he has diabetes and stuff. But they had, what was that band that sang Sister Christian?
Night Ranger.
Night
Ranger. They were there, Jeff. They were there.
Yep.
They were there. And they put on, and they sang some damn Yankee songs, of course. And, but I don't know, man. It's just like, I some of the people there, they're like it's like they're not supposed to be there, Jeff. I don't know how to put it to you, but like I'm not going to go see Slayer in my baby blue polo with my khaki pleated above the knee shorts and my white.
Is that what you were showing me?
Yes, sir.
Oh my, yeah, those guys look like they were on the back. They're on the back 9.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then he would turn around every once in a while and he would look at us and go, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna knock you the fuck. Get out of here, man.
That's because you wanted to meet.
You know what? There's a flip side to that coin though, too, man. I went to Red Rocks and I saw 9 Inch Nails, man, and I was just dressed like this. And there were some crazy looking people out there. But it was
like, oh, look at the top.
Yeah, it was different. It was way different. But I wasn't gonna miss them.
Dokken, there you go, Craig.
Hell yeah, Craig. Dokken was rad.
Love Dokken, dude.
I don't want to see that.
Nail.
I used to love Dokken. If he can't sing anymore, You know, sometimes you got to give it up. Brett can still sing. Sebastian Bach from Skid Row can still sing. And let me tell you something. I grew up in an era, Brett, Jeff, when Christian rock became a thing.
Striper, dude.
Striper.
Now, listen, Striper was still pretty good for what they were. I'm sorry, dude. They can put out some shit. And they released an album not too long ago, and I was like, damn, that guy can still sing like that? But there were some underrated bands. There's two bands. Look them up. There's two bands. One band is called Bloodgood. Amazing band for a Christian band. Vengeance and Barren Cross. Those guys were never looked at.
I remember
and
that.
They could rip. I mean, they were like. But
That Bloodgood was huge, though.
That's devilish show. You're tampering with devil sound with Christian lyrics, and they got them bumped away. But they were actually literally sometimes they would sing just about normal shit like their girls or life in general, and then they would throw one of their Christian songs in there about their faith or whatever. Great, but I'm sorry, those bands were talented, dude.
Yeah.
And Striper, they're just like getting a lot of flack, so they did a secular album, and then everybody got upset about it, and then they went back. They got their roots, but I'm not gonna. They could do just like everybody else.
Just
remember
amazing.
that song, what was it, To Hell with the Devil? After Shout at the Devil came out, I was like, dude, you play those side by side. It's a blast.
I just want to say it's funny. Sorry, Jeff, just real fast. I think it's funny when a Christian actually does a Christian thing. And by that statement, I mean outreaching other people by relating to them and not trying to be a superior and push it down their throat. So by doing a Christian act, doing a Christian thing, they were ridiculed. So they were reaching to a larger
Exactly. It was bad. Because I agree with that.
It's like Troy was saying, it was a sound.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're reaching kids that don't normally want to listen to Christian music, that all of a sudden are like, wow, but these guys can be Christian and still do this, then I want to be Christian.
Yeah, because did you listen to some of the Christian metal bands that they came out with, Brittany, that they produced? They were shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying they were doing a good message, and they were going to reach more kids and more people that way than doing it with the narrative of pushing down your throat. If you know what I'm saying.
I'll tell you something, Jeff. So the story of the correct. I'm with you, Brittany. I think you're totally correct. The story of the crucifixion. Bloodgood wrote a song called "Crucify," but they wrote it from the other side. You know, kill them. You know, rip them down, cut them. You know, and they did this whole thing, and everybody's like, oh, why would you? But they were just saying that you know, when he's like, I wash my hands or whatever, he was like, why? He's your king. Why do you want me to kill him? And they're like, kill him. You know, and they wrote that song, and it was good.
Yeah,
they just took a biblical story and turned it into a metal song. And listen, one of their coolest songs that they've done is "She's Gone" and "Alone in Suicide." Amazing songs by the band Bloodgood, absolutely amazing. Les Carlson was the lead singer. Those guys were they did get into some of the metal mags. They did get played on Headbangers Ball sometimes, but I think they did a good job. And once that happened, like you said, Brittany, they went mainstream, right, Jeff? And they were giving their message a little bit, you know. They got shunned by their own people because they sounded too manic satanic. And that to me is just, you know.
Yeah, there was a lot of Christian hardcore and punk and pop punk and also Krishna and all this other, you know.
Whatever.
I mean, remember MXPX?
Yeah.
They were pop punk. They were a Christian band.
Hey, you remember POD?
Yeah.
POD was great, bro. They were good at what they did, man. They were good dudes. And then when they made a bunch of money, they went back into their community, bro, and put it back into the community they grew up in. That's doing what you're supposed to do as a human.
I encourage, if anybody's never heard it, if anybody is unfamiliar with POD, which they are a great band, I stand by that. Listen to Youth of a Nation. When you listen to the words of that song and it doesn't resonate with you and you feel empowered after listening it, you're just kind of like, I don't even know what to say about you.
And that wasn't even a religious song. They were just like, listen to people.
No.
That song still slaps. It does.
It does. Like they were just like, listen.
Youth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Something we lost nowadays. Yeah. If they could pay attention to those words. Again, ridiculed for being a true Christian. That's the problem.
I think I see the CD right over there in the box that I'm playing.
I love it, dude.
POD. Oh yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. I remember when MTV used to do MTV Cribs, and they would go to celebrities' homes, and they went to the lead singer of POD's home, and it was so funny. He was like, he went to his room, and they always said, this is where the magic happens. You know, like they always emphasize when you go to the one room. And then he went to their kids' room, And like there's Veggie Tales everywhere, which is like the Christian cartoon and everything, and like Noah's Ark and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, we were Christians, so my kids watch Veggie Tales." And like he just said it so nonchalant. And then
they bought the whole. They never were judgy. They bought the whole corner block that they all lived on. Their whole family. They bought the whole thing, and all their family lived there. I mean, they did a really good thing. So my point is, there's people like that go out there and do stuff, and that's the way you should be. So if you have a religion, right, that you follow, and that's my point. Don't be like, oh, I can't let Jeff and Troy in the zoo because they look like hell kind of people. Okay. Because that happened to us. We all know that. And I think that just the fact that they got abolished for that was like ridiculous. Who is anybody in any type of position to say what certain music sounds like? Like, well, that sounds a little bit too Satanish.
Yeah.
You know, like who does that? That doesn't make any sense.
Satanish enough.
It's you know what, I'm sorry, but this is the part that I get really frustrated with. And the only thing I'll say is I've had this discussion with the people that claim that they're these, you know, these raging Christians. And I'm a Christian, but there's this other side of Christianity that it's like, guys, come on, you're just making it so much worse. And I've had debates and conversations with them, and I always say to them, I'm like, if Jesus was to come today, where do you think he'd be? Like he would literally be in the strip clubs. He would be in the place where people like need him the most, where his job was to be at.
Happy
he would
feet,
be here the saved, as they put it. You know, he'd be here.
If Christians can hang out at strip clubs, I'm getting saved tonight.
But what I'm just saying is, and then they ridiculed me for that. Like, talking down about Jesus, and I'm like, but then you obviously don't know the word that you read, because that's what his job was when he came to earth. That was his duty, to save those that were sinners. So why would he be talking to people that already believe in him? It's a waste of time to be here. So it's I
just want to know who started the whole video game that they had to send someone down to save you in the first place. What the hell is going on with that? Yeah. Hey, he's getting a little smart. You better get down there. He's getting a little smart. We're going to have to kill that son of a bitch. Tell him to build a boat. We'll kill 100 million people and let 2 of them live.
Or whichever side the comments pop up on. Craig's is
I love it. I love that guy. Oh, by the way, Craig, get my little flask here. I'm sipping a little of that cookie dough you turned me on to. That's been a terrible, terrible thing, young man.
You know, it really sucks, because if they didn't have chocolate in it, I would be able to try the damn thing. Like,
oh my God, it is the best thing in the world. Are you kidding me right now? He came up to me at a Croc Fest. He's like, hey, have you ever tried this? I'm like, no. I was like, Jesus Christ. It's like this whole oven just opened up, and there was like cookies, and you were like sitting at grandma's house, and the window was cracked, and you saw like birds flying around, and it was like you just bit into a cookie, dude.
That's insane to me that it tastes that good. The peanut butter one is really good. No. I do, but you have to like drink it. You can't. There's some whiskey you can drink a larger amount of, but I feel like that peanut butter one, after so many sips, you're like, I can't do anymore. It's too much. Like it's just too much peanut butter, and you have to be a real peanut butter fan.
Oh, Frog Bang Dan got real messed up too on that night.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah, no, Frog Bang Dan was drinking the dough ball, and he was just wacky, dude. Yeah, we had a good time. Those are good times. But yeah, when you think about all that stuff, yeah, he said they have a maple.
I love when my booze tastes like breakfast.
Well, I don't know if I'd try that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Maple bacon.
Do they have any that taste like a s'more or like marshmallow flavor? That would be fun.
See, that all screams hangover to me.
Yeah, too much sugar.
Sugar in it is like hangover.
You know, if you drink it, like I found, if you freeze it, right? If you get it really cold, Jeff, you can sip on it like a little dessert, you know, and with a little ganja if you want, and you can just chill. Yeah, but you could drink too much of it if you're not careful, because it is that good.
Wow.
So
yeah. Wow.
I mean, definitely, you definitely got to, you know, if you're want to have a good time.
Are you allergic to chocolate, Brittany?
Yeah.
That's
and now garlic. What kind of BS is that?
Whoa, garlic! It tells me a little something about you.
A vampire. When
about wooden stakes and crosses.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Rattlesnake Rosie tastes like apple pie.
Yeah.
Really?
I like some good apple pie moonshine, man. That's what
I got some, Jeff. I got some shine. I want you to try.
Definitely, man.
It scares the shit out of me, man. I had one shot, and
Did you go blind for a couple seconds? That's when you know it's good.
It's like you're drinking gasoline. It's really good though. 1, 2 shots, 3 shots.
Wow.
It's a cherry shine. And it's funny. I'm working on this house, this custom built house. And the guy that works there, he used to live in Florida. And he used to live.
He learned to drink.
I tell you what, he was like, I used to make this stuff out in Florida. He goes, but they busted me on it and I couldn't do it, but I still make it here. He's got his own stills. And he gave me a jar one day after me and Lauren left. And he's like, hey, take this home. And Lauren and I tried it. It's too much, man. Maybe you guys will like it. I can't do it.
Moonshine's not my thing, bro. That's a jet.
I can't do it, man. Seriously.
I went to North Carolina and got a bottle of apple pie moonshine, dude. And I was it was in heaven. A little bit of cinnamon, little apples in there. Takes a little of the lighter fluid taste out of the moonshine.
Yeah, back in the days, man, with the
grain alcohol.
They did a lot of that. It's legal to have your own still in Florida.
Is it really?
Yeah. You're only allowed to produce so much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can make your own kind of thing. Yeah, look it up. There's something you can do here in Florida where you're only allowed to make so much, I guess. And it's for your own personal use. You can't distribute it. You can't sell it, but you can do your own.
We should just start a fucking little distillery. Like, I fucked my sister moonshine.
That would sell.
When you drink this stuff, like the burn doesn't stop.
No.
And it turns your face beet red. Like your blood gets hot. So this shit's, he said it's 110 proof. I've had 80 proof before, but I'm not a real big drinker.
We used to drink Everclear when we were kids. Make
fucking
yeah. They used to mix that with 151.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Just do me a favor. I want to see your face when you shoot this stuff.
151 was legit horrible, dude.
It's worse than that.
No. 151, yeah.
Oh no.
Bro, they used to make those atomic cherries, and they would put all those cherries in a jar. And they would fill up 151 for like a week, Brittany, and then the cherries would be a little bit darker red. And you'd eat one, it was like you bit into the sun.
Oh, no.
You ever do vodka watermelon or a gin watermelon, dude? You cut a hole in it and you just pour a bunch of booze and let it soak in there, and then you eat it.
You know, when I was in
I've seen people make those at parties. I never had one.
When I was in Tahiti, and they were like, "Do you want a what was it? God, I can't remember what they called it." And I was like, "Oh, that's sure," you know, because it was part of like the nighttime cruise or whatever. They like crack open the coconut and just pour the liquor inside the coconut, and then hand it to you to drink, like straight out of the coconut with the liquor, so it absorbs all the coconut. Oh my God. It was awful. It was like just pure alcohol up a straw. It was like, there's no coconut in
like
this.
Those agua frescos down south.
Horrible.
That in the fucking coke when they trim up the coconut for you.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm good. It's not.
Oh, the Coco Frio.
Oh, Coco Frio, that's right.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, when they put it in the
like your breath
coolers and they get it really, really cold and they bomb it, take a straw
I
in it.
fucking dare you to drink this shit. It's called Devil's Piss. That's what he said.
Devil's Piss. What's it got? Maraschino cherries in it?
Yeah.
I hate those fucking things, but I'll drink it anyway.
Yeah, they're in there. He says, don't smash them. They look like grapes now. They were cherries, but he's like, if you smash them, it's like eating 10 worms and it's tequila. But it's called Devil's Piss.
A bottle of mezcal one time. I got fucking tuned up.
That's awesome.
My parents bought back.
It's all you, man. I can't do it. This got your name on it. It's all you.
Having a party.
What happened with your parents?
Drink this in line.
No, my parents brought back mezcal from Mexico. Sorry, Brittany, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay.
And I drank the end of one of the bottles and ate the worm. I have very, very few memories of the rest of that.
Doesn't that stuff taste like foot cream?
What? Well, as I've never eaten foot cream, I was gonna go ahead.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like that smell.
Like tequila to me, kind of. That's what it
I hate tequila.
Oh God.
When they even open that up, I want to vomit. It smells like hand sanitizer. I can't stand it. Doesn't it sometimes smell like hand sanitizer, dude? Tequila?
Tequila stinks. I don't like
hand sanitizer.
What's that?
That smells like
Jeff just said it though. It started with an M. What's it called?
Oh, mezcal?
Yeah, isn't it like a musky, like smoky?
Yeah, it's very tequila-y, a little bit different, and it's got the worm.
Yeah, it smells like foot cream to me. I don't know why.
You have to like tequila to drink it. You have to like
I like good tequila. I'll drink.
Yeah, that's an acquired flavor, right? It's a good acquired flavor.
Beer.
I don't. What I like about you know what I like when I go to a Mexican restaurant and get one of those frozen beeritas where they fucking cram a Corona in there and it kind of leaks in a little at a time. It's fucking choice. Huh?
Nothing. No. That's like beer. It's like when I had friends that were like, you just have to keep drinking it. It's acquired taste. You'll get used to it. I'm like, no, if I don't like it on the first sip, I'm not drinking it. Like I
hated the first.
Like I'll just sit
beers I
around.
drank, and now I love it.
I don't need it that much.
You know, if you like
beer used to bother me.
Dinner.
Like when people would like burp in your face at the club, that's what an open bottle of beer always smelled like. So I just never did. Like it's a certain type of beer. I do like some beers. There are some really good beers, but it's rare for me. I can't just pick up a Bud Light. It's always like a burp. It would just smell like a bunch of people were belching. You pop the can, it was like a beer burp, and that the can smell like that, and then they're farting and stuff all night in there. I
don't know who you go drinking with.
I have
beer makes people all bloaty and gross. I remember the old term beer farts. Come on,
beer shits, man, worse.
Like that people say. No. I even for myself, I have like a limited thing that I do. It's like mimosas. I'm good with. Those are great. I do ciders. Ciders are great. And then Jameson and cranberry juice. That is the maximum of my exposure into the world of alcohol. I'm good.
I like Tito's and cranberry. That's my cranberry drink right there.
What is it?
Tito's, vodka, and cranberry.
I don't know.
Tito's is the shit when it comes to the vodka, without a doubt. It's my favorite.
Yeah, and like
I'm too afraid to test stuff.
The only whiskey I really will sip on is that Doughboy stuff. I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but I do like rum. A lot of different.
You did grow up in Florida. I'm not a rum drinker, man.
Some of that rum, dude.
You're an island boy. Where's his rum?
Island boy.
Rum's all
I
gone.
like the rum, dude. I do. There's one called Kraken.
Oh my God,
Kraken. Dark rum, and it is raw.
Roy loves Kraken.
I got
darker rums are good, like Myers. Dark Myers rum. But yeah,
Sailor Jerry didn't have a bad line for a while. His rum was pretty good.
John just bought one of those not too long ago.
Sailor Jerry?
Yeah,
he was the original tattoo artist from like the 1940s, 30s, 40s. And I had a couple of the collector things where his artwork was inside of it. But it's actually a decent spice. Like you could put it in a Coke or you could put it in some juice.
He puts it in
some rum, pineapple juice and rum sometimes. Like Kraken rum and pineapple is pretty good.
Yeah,
like you just feel like you're out getting a tan. You get a tan when you drink that, dude. You know. That's
like
how you feel.
Coladas make me think like I'm drinking Hawaiian Tropic. That's what that
bro. You know like. That reminds me, Jeff. I went and saw the Meg 2, and it was awesome.
Oh, was it good?
Hell yeah! It was so cheesy. It was good.
Yeah, I love cheesy shit. I've been watching Twisted Metal.
When you can spear a shark after you jump the other one with a jet ski, bro. That's like that Steven Seagal Van Damme shit nowadays, dude. I mean, this man jumped sideways on one and speared another. It was like jumping sharks like that on a Sea-Doo. Hell yeah, I'm gonna love it.
Have to see it now.
Now we got to get a couple of Sea-Doos, give it a whirl.
But while we were waiting, there was the previews, and I think it's September, I think, or maybe it's next year. They're doing the Bob Marley. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
freaking bad ass. The story of Bob Marley.
They're making a movie out?
Yes, the whole in depth, all the way through all the politics and the attempted trial. The first time they tried to kill him and his family and everything, and it looks good.
Wow.
yeah.
I like Bob Marley. I'm a fan of him. I think it's outstanding. Reggae music, good. Another good band is The Movement. If you listen to them, they're really good too. For reggae music. The song you'll like, Jeff, is called Smoke. You should listen to it. It's awesome.
I like Smoke.
Smoke, yep. But yeah, there's some good
Bob
stuff
Marley and Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff. I love all that shit.
And those movies, man. Those new movies, there's some good stuff coming out. The new Nun 2 is coming out. He's going to see that.
Which one?
The second Nun.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
another haunting one is coming out.
All right.
The haunting of something.
The Red Door, the last one of the last installments of Insidious just came out. That was in theater. The Red Door.
Oh, and Saw. They're doing another Saw.
Oh Lord Jesus, I can't do Saw anymore. I can't.
Oh, there's a lot of Saws. Like you think a Saw got rusty, but no.
Yeah, a lot of Saws.
Like,
you remember? Remember the old PlayStation game, Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it looks cool,
on Peacock. It's actually pretty good, man.
It was good.
Yeah, I liked it. It's kind of hokey, but it's pretty good. And
I love the game.
Same. Like Sweet Tooth, the fucking
I love that
ice cream truck. He's the guy who plays him is awesome, dude. He's just this huge dude in a clown mask.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's on Peacock. If you know,
Because I remember playing the game Twisted Metal. I love that game.
I love Twisted Metal, dude. That's what it always be. It's fucking.
I was always Sweet Tooth.
Yep.
You know, it was a good movie that I didn't expect it to be. Hold on, I have to find the name of it so I get it right.
You must have loved it that much, huh, B?
It's something. I think it's called We Have a Ghost. I think it was on Netflix. I did it. Hold on.
Was it a movie or a series?
No, it was a
The
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, We Have a Ghost. And the guy who plays in Stranger Things, he does a lot of work, and I can't think of his name right now. He plays the ghost. But oddly enough, it was a really entertaining movie that I wasn't prepared for. And I was like, well, this is interesting. And it was just one of those weird but good, feel-good ghost movies. And I was like, this is really interesting.
Feel good ghost movies.
Joe,
The ghost rom-com.
or Brett, did you guys ever watch The Haunting of Hill House?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that not one of that was my favorite ever that I've ever seen.
They did a great job.
I tell everybody that was one of the best series I've ever seen.
I'll have to check it out again, dude.
I can't even. It was so awesome, dude.
I just got Shudder channel on
I'm going to be doing that too. If Craig says it, I'm watching it. I'm sorry.
Check out Shudder. It's like $4 something a month, and they have all these old vintage horror movies. Me and Ruby watched Return of the Living Dead from like 1982 or something like that. And it's all the glam punks from fucking LA.
The 50s too.
Yeah, they have from the 50s. They have all kinds of shit, dude. We watched this movie called Zombie from 1970 something, and the zombies, dude. These things move slower than the old George Romero zombies in the mall. They're just like barely moving, and people are getting caught by them. And I'm like, can't they just push them out of the way, or do a little fucking zigzag?
That's funny. That's like what John says about like watching Chucky and stuff. He's always like, it's a damn doll.
Dude, I beat the shit out that redhead doll, man. I think the same thing. I really do.
Dude, but you forget that guy has satanic power, dude. Chucky's one of my favorite. When he knocked that teacher's head off in that fucking closet.
Did you watch the Chucky series they had on Netflix? I think Netflix something.
No.
Yeah, the series.
It was all right.
It's good. I like it. I like Chucky. I like that he just fucks people up and he gives no fucks.
Oh, dude, when I met Jennifer Tilly, I met her at a poker tournament in Costa Rica. I was over the moon because I was like, fuck. Tiffany.
His wife, right? Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff. That's pretty cool stuff. Great zombie movie. Children shouldn't play with the dead. Children shouldn't play with dead things. Remember that movie? I do.
Oh, interesting.
You never saw that, Brittany? That's a good movie. Greg, I remember that movie.
What year was
that? Crazy. I've been looking for the original Dawn of the Dead. I think it was 1983 or 2. The original George Romero in the mall, Dawn of the Dead. You cannot find it anywhere on digital. It's unavailable because of copyright shit. It pisses me off. You can Day of the Dead, the sequel you can get.
But Dawn of the Dead, you can't.
No Dawn of the Dead, dude. You can get the 1985 one with like Ving Rhames or 1990 whatever. But it's still the zombies move too fast.
But you want the original?
Hell yeah, that's the fucking shit right there.
You want to know a movie that really scared the shit out of me when I was growing up? If you guys remember it, Alice Cooper starred in it. It was called Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
I remember that.
That movie freaked me out when I was younger.
The movie that freaked me out when I was young was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh God!
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, I want to feed Grandpa. And he's like sitting there dead with his mouth open, and they're like pouring shit in there and they're hack. Oh my God, dude!
It's crazy,
bro.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street scared the crap out of me.
Next month, I think is next month. The end of this month or next, Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper in Tampa.
No, yeah, I saw that.
I will be there like a pink bear.
When? What date?
I think it's the 26th. I think I'll pull it up myself.
September. Let me know.
You know, one of Rob Zombie's best things was the fucking animation in Beavis and Butthead Do America when they're fucking tripping on peyote.
Yeah.
Crazy fucking Rob Zombie shit. I think it's rad.
Rob Zombie was cool. I was watching an interview with him, and he was just talking about like all he ever wanted to do was make movies. He didn't even care about being a rock star. He never cared about it. He just wanted to make horror movies. He loved scary monster horror movies, dude. He's always been this a wild dude, man. But Alice Cooper's coming with him, and Alice Cooper's like 113. So I'm excited, dude. I like
him. Undead, man.
No, he's like 78 or something now, 74. He's right around my dad's age.
You're letting him out on a day pass from the fucking home.
He's up there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been to his restaurant in Phoenix. He's got like a barbecue and rib restaurant in Phoenix called Alice Cooperstown.
I bet it's good.
It's all right. It's kind of like it's very like TGI Fridays, but with barbecue. It kind of
there's an Iron Maiden place in Fort Lauderdale area down in
let's go, man.
It's called something. I went, man. Me and a bunch of us went to it. It's like all Iron Maiden themed restaurant. It's owned by the drummer of Iron Maiden who lives down there.
Oh, Nico McBride or whatever.
It's badass, dude. It's a great place. They do like the full rack of ribs, and it almost looks like 3 feet of ribs on your plate. Like the
Flintstones rack.
They got his and they got his drum set in there. It's all up on the thing, and it's all the Maiden side. It's pretty cool.
Nice, that's badass, dude.
Rockin' ribs or rockin' something ribs.
I'll have to check it out.
It's in South Florida. It's really good.
It should be called like the meat of the beast, something like that.
Wow, dude! Hell yes, that would be a cool name. The meat of the beast. That would be awesome. But yeah, they're going to be touring again too. I definitely want to catch up and see that. So. Well, we had an interesting time. We didn't talk about any kind of UFOs or anything scary, so that's good. Any more on that, Brittany, before we cut out of here?
It's way too much to get into, but yes, there's a lot going on.
All right, so we need to pick a time, and we'll do an episode, a UFO episode, and I want to hear what you're dealing with, because I'd like to hear it so we can decipher through a lot of it. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I will just leave you with this, and I know this is going to really piss Brett off, but it's the smear campaign has now attacked PTSD within the military.
I know. I already heard.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
It's been full-fledged, and I've been in the heat of that trying to get all the information. It's been bad.
Are they saying that the sightings and accounts are all PSD driven?
No, they're attacking our whistleblower because he's a decorated veteran, and he suffered from PTSD in a point in his life where he had to go get mental.
Who hasn't suffered from PTSD at a point in their life? Yeah, Craig, I will be there. I'll be vending. Bells on.
It's 1 in every 5. 1 in every 5 in our society suffers from PTSD. So
that's the new version, Jeff. Oh, sorry, Brittany.
That's okay.
The new version's on Netflix, the Ving Rhames version from the 80s or 90s. The original is nowhere. I looked everywhere, and then I got to the point where I Googled it. Because even on Amazon, I tried to find it to buy, and it said content not available. And I guess there's some sort of copyright issue.
It was like that for a long time with the movie Willow. And
then Blade Runner too, apparently. And Star Wars. Star Wars didn't come out on video until we were into DVD time, I don't think.
Yeah, they wanted to keep things. Sometimes they keep stuff under wraps like that.
It's because they were making those awesome prequels. They took a lot of time developing the Jar Jar Binks character and. Oh, really? I'll go look right now, Jeff. If it's on there, I'd be psyched because I was looking this weekend.
Yeah, Jeff's an old school dude, man. If it's on there, bro, that's cool.
Even Night of the Living Dead, which is a fucking amazing, amazing movie, the black and white, the original, shit is sick, dude. But yeah, check out Shudder. There's like all kinds of old zombie movie. Chopping Mall, I watched that on there when the kids got caught in the mall with the fucking security robots.
Oh my God.
Dude, I love shit like that.
Oh, me too, man. I like just gore for gore's sake.
There's also a really great app too, before we leave, that is called Freevee. And they show nothing but old classic films between horror, comedy. They do it all.
It's an Amazon company, I think.
Frank, are you talking Bill Love, Reptile Bill Love? Is that who you're talking about? Man, that'd be cool. He was in that movie?
No shit. Wait, which one? Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, that's what he said. I think he was in that movie. Which one, Craig? Which one was Bill Love in?
He was zombie number 46.
I think he's saying the 1978 version is what Bill Love was in.
That's fucking rad, man.
Bill Love's a neat dude. Years ago, I'll get into that another time. But Bill Love's a neat guy. Yeah, that's cool. I had no idea he was in there. That's weird, man. What a small world.
Isn't it weird when you see people and you're like, I know that guy. That happened. Remember the movie Suburbia, the old punk movie?
Yep.
My old boss from one of my first tattoo shops that I worked at in Seattle, he was in that movie, and I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking Aaron. It's nuts.
I remember watching this movie, I think called The Bling Ring one night, and Brittany was in it. Brittany was in it. I didn't even know.
Who was in it?
Brittany.
Oh shit, maybe it's not a porn.
No, it wasn't.
John.
It wasn't.
And then at the time, my ex-wife at the time, she liked to watch Vampire Diaries, and they did this thing, and and they're like, oh, and I didn't know what they were doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, rewind that, and they're like in this meeting of all the vampires or whatever, and Brittany's on the one of the high vampires on the board. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man! Brittany did that. And then I guess she was in that a few times. That was cool. But I really never knew. She didn't tell me that stuff. To her, it was like, oh, I don't do that anymore. I don't get into that. But
yeah,
that's right at the peak where she was acting and she gave it all up. Said she didn't care for it.
She made it.
Her thing. And now
I worked for Drop Dead D. I worked on the Drop Dead Diva show, and I worked on Vampire Diaries. And yeah, I was a secret vampire sitting in the council meeting to keep it going, to keep vampires in control of the town. So it was a lot. And then we were all burned and killed.
Vampire Diaries was like a Christian version of True Blood. I can say that. Let's definitely do that.
It was just more like teeny bopper content, but it was good. I enjoyed working for them. It was a good time. Good stuff.
Well, I love seeing everybody here and hanging out, and I appreciate everybody coming in. Craig, it's always good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad I came on late and got to see you. Jeff, Jeff said sorry. It's a 2004.
Yeah, I saw that, man. If anybody finds it digitally, I will be very happy. I'm just going to order the DVD because my ex needed one DVD for Ruby, so she took my whole friggin' giant portfolio. So by the time I wrangle that back, I'm just going to get a new one.
Well, so that's a troll. We're going to start looking for 1978 Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, and Suspiria, too. I couldn't find that online anywhere. The old Dario.
For a long time, I couldn't find a lot of those, like Willow and all that. And then I ended up getting because I like Legend, and I got both cuts of it. Got the American theater version
Tom Cruise
and the European directors, and it is badass, dude. The one where he cuts the witch's head off is not in the American theater version of it. And where, if you remember the scene where Tom Cruise looked like he dove off this rock, it's in Ocala.
Oh, okay? No shit, man.
And it was a 6-year-old professional. They called him professional diver.
A 6-year-old?
He was 6, and he was a diver for his team.
A stunt diver is because he
was some European, whatever, but he was a stunt diver, and that's why he was little and it looked like an adult. But it was filmed far, but there's a small cliff. It's still there. You can find it. It's in Ocala, and that's where they filmed that, diving for the ring, right? Or it looked like he dove off, but it was really a kid. There's so much that while they were filming that, the entire set burnt down. So they had to rebuild the set, and they said it would take Tim Curry sometimes up to 18 hours to finally get his garb fully done.
Yeah, we got to do a movie tragedy fucking episode, like shit that went terribly wrong, like The Crow and Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, we should do a show. We'll do an episode on that and start looking all that up.
Yeah, what's great. Alec fucking Baldwin.
Yep, we shot that guy.
Oh my god.
Jeez, dude. Man.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Let's do that. We'll do a show on some crazy movies and crazy movie fatalities. But
hell yeah,
thanks
man.
again, everybody, for coming on tonight with us, and thanks for joining us and coming in and talking shit with us. We really appreciate you coming in, supporting, and I also appreciate you guys coming on tonight late. Thanks for doing that. And we will go ahead and log out until next week. And if there's anything anybody wants to talk about or finds out cool, please message one of us and let us know.
Yeah.
So I can bring it in and we can do some cool shit. I'd really like to do that. So
my birthday's a weekend Daytona, so everybody, my size is 12 gauge.
12 gauge. I like that. My size is 12 gauge.
Oh my god,
guys, have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. sharp, unless something crazy happens. At the end of it too, everybody's Jimmy Riffle's birthday, so he's out and about. That's why he's not with us tonight.
Happy birthday, Jimmy!
If anybody wants to send him a message I didn't know, he is turning 13 today. All right,
the Gator Boy's now a Gator man.
That's right. He is now a teen. He went from tween to teen. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming out. Y'all have a good night.